Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Renu. Today I'm ready with yet another update, not just on international graduate or non-healthcare like TR to PR pathway, but also I got hold of few French cases. Good thing is that IRCC is actively assessing application from May 6th to May 10th now, and the timeline of course is pretty fast, and we can expect that by end of December to the 31st we should be done, at least I would say from May 6th to May 10th cases. Looks like the express entries category would definitely have good news since IRCC has reached to its cap and closed the program under TR to PR pathway under journal category on November 5th. So now the next take would be, of course, the express entry, and I will be talking a little more in detail, about the update what we have right now. I have covered few updates on federal skilled worker programs timelines in my previous videos, but it will be more active with TR to PR pathway in my forthcoming videos for sure. For those who have not subscribed to my channel, highly would recommend. And towards the end, I will be covering all your queries, which I think should make sense to a lot of you. All right, so the let's dive into our first timeline. That's for international graduate. Now, this applicant applied on May 6th at 9:26 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. He was able to receive the AOR on August 18th and was able to link up his application on the very same day. There been an ADR for police clearance certificate on August 18th, and he has uploaded the PCC on the very same day. Now, I would also be discussing one more timeline where an applicant did not receive anything from IRCC and still he was able to raise a web form. Although on the website itself, it's clearly indicated that IRCC will not accept any unsolicited document. However, for those where you have just submitted the letter that you have applied for police clearance certificate or the documents which is going to expire maybe in like next month or so, and you're not expecting any AOR, especially for June cases, I would recommend you can submit it via web form. There is no harm in doing that, and this is exactly this applicant has done, and I will be sharing his timeline towards the end also. Now, in this case, there was an ADR for PCC, and now from August 19 to October 18, there was no response from IRCC, and this could be one of the case many of you might be experiencing, that there's been a long pause. You receive an ADR and you submitted it. There was not even an information on the website whether it has been received or not, like an acknowledgement. So you don't need to worry about that. He has raised the web form and you can also do it since he has already reached to the stage of getting the ADR and AOR. So he raised the web form with a query to inquire about the date and timings of AOR and asking for the update on his application from IRCC. And that was done on October 20th. So you can always imagine that it's almost like 2 months and he did not get any response. Within 9 days time period, he received the ghost update. Now, if you are in a position where you have got the ADR or AOR, I'm just kind of reiterating, you definitely can raise a web form and you can put your concern. A lot of you must be thinking, what should we write? You can simply refer your application that this is exactly my case. I have received the AOR on so and so date or ADR on so and I have submitted my documents and I have not received the acknowledgement. Could you please let me know what is the update? Like this should be the content just to understand the next course of action. So then medicals were passed and second ghost update was done on November 4th, and he was able to link up he was able to get the update for portal details, and this was received on November 5th. And he has updated his address and his photograph, and that's how he was able to receive the ECOPR on November 6th. So when you receive the ECOPR, it's not a PR card. Just to clarify, I have shared few letters from IRCC in one of my video, and I have provided the link in the description box below this current video. So when you receive the ECOPR, it will take another 2 to 4 weeks time period in receiving the PR card. And I have one timeline. I will be discussing how exactly it happens. There's another timeline for essential non-healthcare. Rama, this is the middle name. Thank you so very much. Her mother has shared the case with me. So congratulations. Now, this applicant has applied on May 6th at 12:12 p.m. Eastern Time. AOR was received on June 8th, and biometrics was done on June 7th itself. She was able to get the ADR for police clearance certificate on June 9th. Now, this applicant has traveled not just like she was not just from India, but also she's traveled all across the world to different places. So that's the reason she was asked for the ADR for police clearance certificate. Then medicals were passed, so it was all indicated in her portal, and then PCC was submitted on June 30th. There was an email from IRCC as an acknowledgement of documents, and that was received on July 21st. So it's almost you know you, it takes a couple of days in receiving that. Now, acknowledgement is not a mandatory requirement, that many of you might not be able to receive an email, and you might get in panic situation that, oh, we have already submitted more than 1.5 months. So it depends, it varies from visa officer to visa officer also. And whenever any document is uploaded, you tend to get the ghost update. So this is one of the positive indication here. This has happened twice. And then she called up IRCC to inquire about the latest update. And this is exactly you can also do if you have submitted all the documents and you're just waiting for the PR confirmation portal or even for the PR card. You're free to do that. There is no restriction attached to it. After that, everything was passed and just have to wait for the final decision. And she's able to get the portal email yesterday. That was November 7th. Moving on to another timeline is for international graduate again. This applicant has applied on May 6th at 9:43 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And she was able to link up the application on October 14th. AOR was received on October 14th itself. There was a medicals and PCC was approved on the very same day. There's been a background check on October 25th, and then PR portal was on November 2nd. Then very next day, PR credentials were done. So if you see the right now, based upon the current scenario, IRCC is actually assessing the application from May 6th to May 10th, and the response from the stage of getting the AOR to getting the ECOPR is pretty quick. It's not even taking 20 or 25 days in total. So that's really good news, and hope that by December 31st, they will be able to clear a huge backlog, not just for the international graduate, but also for stream A and B under journal category. French has started picking up pretty fast, and I'll be discussing a little more. I do have CEC timeline with the screenshot, how exactly it looks like. So I'll be covering that also towards the end. Now, in this case, let's resume to this. So PR credentials were done on November 3rd, and then ECOPR was received on November 5th itself. This is another timeline for French stream. Now, this applicant has applied on July 30th. So it's not May actually, it's July 30th. So there was a request for biometric and medicals were passed. Now, under French stream, of course, the number of candidates was a little less, and that's the reason they have not attached any cap to it. So it's still open. So this has received the AOR on October 18th. Let's link up the account on October 18th itself. And there was request for the documents for employment letter, IMM 5669, income proof. Now, at this stage, I would like to add, for those who have not received any ADR and were able to get the AOR, my suggestion would be to raise a web form or submit your additional document which you think that you might not have fulfilled the requirement, or there have been some indiscrepancies. So you are free to submit all the documents which you think that should be added and should be corrected in your application, because that way it's easy for an IRCC visa officer. They will always get the update that, okay, this candidate has applied on May 6th at so and so time, and now there were few documents were not, there's an indiscrepancy in this document, and all of a sudden you have raised the web form. So this gives an assistance to the IRCC visa officer, and that would cut down the time because you have submitted all the documents it was not possible in one go, but even if it's in parts, but visa officer is still able to access them. So it's easy, and it's better to submit as and when you are ready to submit, especially after AOR. Now, in this case, he got the request, because now in this case, what happened? You get the employment letter request and then IMM 5669 form, income proof. Now, had it been submitted earlier, it would have um, increased the speed of the case for sure. So now this person has got the PR confirmation portal on November 4th, and the very next day he's uploaded the photograph. And just within weeks time period, if you see from this date, November 4th to COPR. It's like November 8th, it was done. And I just have to wait for the PR card. So that should be done. Let's move on to the another case is French Stream. Now this applicant has applied on June 27th at 11:55 p.m. Eastern Time. He was able to receive the AOR on October 18, and the very next day he was able to link up his application. Now, I have explained, I don't know even how many times, but I just wanted to let you know. Try to link up your application once in a day. Linking up your application is important. Reason being is that you will be able to get all the updates in your file by linking up the application. I will be explaining a little more with one more timeline where the applicant has linked up his application and realized and saw an update for the ADR under his portal. So that's very important. Now, it's frustrating for those who are not able to link up. Please note that this has to be done by the centralized management system, like centralized system of IRCC. They have to upload it on GCMS. That's called Global Case Management System. So where your file has to be uploaded, the document has to be uploaded, and that's how visa officer would start evaluating and then send you the ghost updates in case if your documents are getting uploaded and then all that stuff. So it's not in your hand. You can only try. I have explained the whole process, how you can link up your application by just putting your application number and your family name and all sort of information what so you have, or with your UCI number also. So you can do that. Now, in this case, if you see, medicals were passed on October 25th and ghost updates were like 3 in number. PR portal and credentials again were on October 27th, and then ECOPR was received on October 29th. Now, PR application, card was approved and it's shipped on November 8th. So this is exactly the information you will see. ECOPR was received, if you see, on October 29th, and it took him almost 10 days where he got the notification from IRCC that his PR card application has been approved and it has been shipped. Means it has been mailed. So it will be mailed to your mailing address. Now, for those who have not updated their addresses, please make sure at the time of PR portal you need to update your photograph, because that photograph is the requirement for your PR card, and your address where IRCC will be mailing your address, not emailing. They would be mailing, MAILING, mailing your address to your home address or whatever the address you provided at the later stage. And that is the reason of PR confirmation portal stage, because visa officer wanted to make sure that you should be able to get the document in possession at your place. All right, so moving on to another timeline is for international graduate. He has applied on May 6th at around 9:15 to 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. He was able to receive the AOR. Now, this is why I'm sharing with you that he was able to link up his application on August 12th. He has received the AOR on July 28th. It took him almost like 14 days in linking up his application. Now, what he did is he linked up only with a partner, not with the GC key. Now, it's advisable to link up your application through GC key account. And even in case if you want to create another account, it's good because some of you might not be able to get the update by linking up just one GC key account. And it's advisable to use the same email address what you have with the IRCC at the time of application, or you can create a new one if you would like to. There is no hard and fast rule out there. Then after linking up the account, this is what I was about to talk, he found a request for IELTS. He then submitted the IELTS through his account and received the confirmation email. Now, whenever IRCC is asking for documents which should be readily available with you, like IELTS, usually they give you 7 days time period. So if you miss that, it's going to be dangerous because it's going to just linger on the process. Moving on to another, timeline is for international graduate. This applicant has applied on May 6th at 12:44 p.m. Eastern Time. AOR was received on October 14th, and there was no ADR. And this is the case I was about to talk with you guys. He was able to receive the portal request, on November 8th, that is today. Now, what he did is that he received the AOR on October 14th. However, he submitted the documents on September 9th. Let me remind you, in this case, this applicant has not been able to link up his application also. This is really strange. I would recommend you to please submit the documents only after the AOR, because there are candidates where they try to submit the documents before getting any AOR or ADR, and they got the notification from IRCC that IRCC will not accept it because there was no update in terms of ADR or AOR. So IRCC is not going to accept any unsolicited document before AOR. Okay, so that is the mandatory requirement here. Now, in this case, the applicant has raised the web form regarding the missing information from IMM 5669 form, IMM 0008 form. So they were kind of, personal history was missing, and then he has explained the explanation, attached the explanation letter for the police clearance certificate for principal applicant and for dependent, and that was done on September 9th. Moving on to another timeline is for CEC. Now, this is exactly the notification would look like. It's more like a portal, what you have. So if you see here, the profile was submitted on June 12th. ITA was received on June 24th. AOR was received on July 2nd. And biometrics, it's for like not required. And medical exam was done on August 3rd, and then background check, if you see here, it was done on October 19th itself. There was a portal invite that's on October 28th, and then portal login was done on October 28th, and there was an eligibility passed thing on November 1st, and the very same day he was able to receive the ECOPR. Let me remind you the CRS over here of this candidate was 362, and the overall score in IELTS was 8 band. And this is exactly how it looks like, the review of eligibility, review of medical results. So they will give you the complete date, also biometrics, like we do not need your fingerprints. We will send you a message if this changes. Also, a lot of you had confusion that do we need RCMP fingerprints? That's not a mandatory requirement. IRCC would ask you to do that, and it holds a validity of 1 year in any way, so you don't need to worry about that. All right, so moving on to another timeline is for Bindusar Sharma with the spouse. So this applicant has applied on May 6th, and congratulations, this candidate was able to receive the AOR because it's with spouse candidate, and this file was linked on October 4th. So if you see here, applicant has applied on May 6th. I am sorry, I don't have the time here, but she's been very active on my subscriber list. Thank you so very much for sharing your case, Bindusar. Now, she's applied on May 6th, and the file was linked on October 4th. So till October 3rd, there was not even a single means of communication from IRCC to them. They did not get any update. And then there was a biometric refund because they applied for it and they already submitted the old biometric as a part of previous application, so November 5th. And finally they have received the AOR, that's on November 6th. Now it should not take more than 15 to 20 days time period in getting the ECOPR for sure. And then the candidate would be asked to get the PPR in case if it's outside. I believe it's an inland spouse, so there won't be any requirement for that for sure. Now let's move on to our Federal Skilled Worker Program, and I'll be covering your queries after this. So this is the news. Express entry, no news from IRCC on when it will invite Federal Skilled Worker Programs candidate. Now, after the end of general quota under TR to PR pathway, it is an indication that yes, IRCC would pay more attention to Federal Skilled Worker Program. However, there are two categories which are very much active: CEC and PNP. So they would be definitely considering. Let's read in between the line a little more, not the full article. It's going to take almost like 30 minutes there. With just 2 months remaining in the year, it remains uncertain if IRCC will resume invitations to Federal Skilled Worker Program candidates in 2021. The main heading over here is here. Yeah, in an October 21st meeting, it was IRCC revealed it's yet to make. Now let's IRCC revealed it is yet to make a decision on when it will resume issuing express entry invitations to all candidates. And that's the reason, guys, was not able to share the timelines, because nothing is actually getting progress, and I don't want to, create unnecessary news over here, because there is no news as such. However, if you see and scroll it down, I'll be sharing the link in the description box below. PNP and Federal Skilled Worker Program would be the main agenda, because this is the target they were supposed to achieve, and we are nowhere if we talk in terms of that. And people are really getting frustrated over here. So PNP and this Federal Skill, sorry, this Federal Skilled Worker Program were the main recipient of the invitation to apply for permanent residence. So basically, the CEC is actually getting to candidates who have applied for Federal Skilled Worker Program, and they've also applied under CEC. So they tend to get quick responses from IRCC, and higher, so you can say they tend to have higher CRCS. Basically the candidates who are physically present over here in Canada are the priority. So basically the PNP and then of course the CEC. So yeah, as and when we get to hear anything under express entry, I would definitely provide you with more news. But as of now, there is no indication, to be honest with you, and we are just left with almost like 2 months now. So towards the end of December 2021, things seems to be pretty, I would say, uncertain right now, because the elections was a thing on September 20th, and after that we have started getting real good number of rollouts in terms of TR to PR pathway. So we can expect anything from IRCC, and as and when we get, I'll be there to update you on that. Let's dive into on the queries part. Now, this is one of the query from Neet. Hi Renu, submitted my file at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time. I linked file on 27th September, passed medicals 24th September. I did not get any update yet. Even though AOR also, I called IRCC, they said due to technical issue, I did not receive AOR. So this is one of the things that could happen, and a lot of you actually are experiencing this, because I have seen a lot of queries coming from the candidates where they have not get any update from IRCC after submitting the documents, even after submitting additional document for IELTS or for police clearance certificate. There have not been any update. So it's kind of a technical glitch. So definitely you just have to have a little more patience out there. And as and when you get any update, you definitely can update me too. Now moving on to another this thing. Hi Renu, I'm starting to get worried. I applied for healthcare stream on May 7th at 6:42 a.m. and never received AOR. I can't link my application on my GCKey account. I tried with two different accounts. I don't know what to do anymore. Do you have any idea of what I can do? Well, again, linking up your application is not entirely in your hand. It is centralized system has to be the one who has to upload your application. So you just have to try once a day, and don't try to do it more than 4 attempts. Otherwise you'll be blocked for 24 hours. Okay. And as and when your application is getting close for the evaluation process, it would automatically be uploaded on GCMS, and that's how you'll be able to link up the application. But just keep trying, don't leave that thing. And hi Renu, we can create GCKey with email, I would, or that email I had with I have mentioned in the form. Well, I would recommend you to please use the same email what you had with the IRCC in first go. And in case if you do not have an access, or you're not able to do it, you can definitely try to do it with the second email or alternative email address. All right, I think that's all for. I want to know, should I try to link up the I have not received the. Yeah, so you can always try to link up your application even before AOR, and that's the reason I'm saying that try to do at least once a day. Don't get frustrated, please, because that's an alternative. A lot of you will not be able to realize that the moment you link up your application, you will see there is an ADR. So let's not waste time out there. Just try to link up once in a day. If you're able to do it, it's fine. There is no fault at your end. It has to be done by IRCC. You can only give it a shot. If you don't give it a try and you just wait for the AOR, things has happened where they have been ADR in the portal and the candidate did not receive the AOR, and when they did, they link up the application and they realize that there was a ADR for police clearance certificate that was supposed to be submitted within 30 days time period, and now they again have to approach IRCC for more relaxation rules under that. So just keep that in mind. I hope this video has been a little helpful to you. In case if it does, please don't forget to subscribe and like. Till then, take care and stay safe, guys. Bye.